Hello everybody and welcome to yet another video of mine where I do the thing with the pencils and the pens and the drawings and the colorings. Okay, so continuing on with our series here, next character or Pokemon in our series is Mew, again requested by a very special person. There's a lesson in this particular drawing. I can already see it. I'm so annoyed at myself. But yeah, so Mew was requested, and initially I was like, oh, what am I gonna do, because it's a basically white Pokemon and paper's white. I was like, well, we'll just kind of work in reverse. We'll start from the shade, which is like a pinkish color, and move outwards to the white, which makes a lot of sense. You know, if you can't work forward, work backwards, sort of thing. You know, art is versatile like that. It's not consistent like that. You know, not everything can be worked in both directions, but in this case it was possible. You just have to make the adjustments for the artwork that you are working on. It's good times, my friends. It's all good times. So I'm going in with a pink color erase color pencil because, you know, the shade is pink. Now, I was at the time live streaming and recording, so I was drawing with my sketchbook flat. And when you draw with your sketchbook flat, you are pushing away and you are tilting the basically layout of your paper. And if you don't mentally compensate for that, and since I've been doing a lot of more digital art lately, I have been failing to actually mentally compensate for that. You do things like, you know how kind of like draw it in one direction and then flip it and it turns into a horror show? Well, that is exactly what is happening in this case with Mew. The face towards the binding is absolutely fine. It's actually perfect. But then because I was at an angle, I sort of shorted and lifted the face because I was kind of at a, when I draw, I'm at like a, what do you want to call it, like a 45 or something like that. But the paper itself is flat. So since I can't be directly over the paper to sort of check myself, and I, silly me, did not pick it up to double check it myself, we ran into the situation where, and I think I even am starting to notice it here, run into a situation where the further away sort of anatomy is squished. Now, it was only with the face. I managed to compensate for everything else just fine. No big deal, but it's still a little bit annoying. We call it drawing at a tilt. And if you are drawing at a tilt, everybody knows exactly what handed you are because you tend to tilt upwards in the direction of the hand you are dominant in. So I am right side dominant, right hand dominant. I draw with my right hand. You can see that the tilt is right and up. So there's that. It happens to all of us. It is okay. It's a sketchbook. Make the mistakes, move on. I once heard a person, I think it's Amanda Elise. She's an artist here on YouTube as well. I haven't talked to her in forever, but she says the same thing: make bad art. You know why? Because there's always something you can learn from it. It's a general life rule too. You are here to not be perfect. You are here to make those mistakes. You are here to learn and grow from them. And sometimes, unfortunately, but it is par for the course, you will make the same mistake over and over and over again. And you might not make the same mistake for years and years and years and years. And then bam, because you are not practiced, because you let things slide, because you ignore things, or, you know, just kind of do something different. Getting back into what you're doing, you fall back into those same habits. A habit doesn't always go away. It's sort of, and I don't like comparing apples to oranges here, but it's similar to an addiction. People tend to fall back into addictions, whether it be drugs, food, drinking, just any sort of unhealthy habit or whatever. It can even be a healthy habit. I don't know. Either way, again, some things you can move forward and some things move backwards. But if you keep trying, honestly, overall, that's what matters. With art, you make the same mistakes. I am making a mistake that I was making when I was 5 years old. It's okay. I'm 39 years old and I'm still making the same art mistakes. It's okay. Because I'm learning, I'm reminding myself, I'm re-educating myself. Because to remember everything in the world that you've ever learned is impossible. You will forget stuff. You'll forget not to do things. You'll forget to do things. You know what I mean? That's okay. You should be understanding of that, and everyone else should be understanding of that. Now, it's different if you're doing it maliciously and going out of your way and purposely just being lazy and not like putting forth any effort whatsoever. However, if you are putting forth the effort and you are trying, then that is what matters. That's the growth of it, because people go forward and they go backwards, just like I did in this artwork. I went forwards and I went backwards. It is what it is. And if people can't accept that sort of thing as human nature or human growth or anything like that, and understand that we're all going to have ups and downs, and that kind of just goes with humanity, you're going to be disappointed in life. Because at some point you're going to fall too. And then you're going to have to look at yourself and be like, wow, I was an asshole to that person who struggled and, took a couple steps back. And now I'm struggling and had taken a couple steps back. And now I feel like crap because, yeah. I know, it's very vague. But it's just like an overall lesson. I'm trying to like teach people crap because like... I feel like if I'm going to be old, at least let me impart some wisdom on somebody. I don't have kids, so I may as well just do it here on YouTube. Anyway, let's talk about Mew. This is a Pokemon drawing. It's not supposed to be that deep. So yeah, I went in and I just basically, to keep my sanity, used blocking colors to figure out the shadows and put those in. And then, obviously I had my my penciled lines. No big deal. And then I just kind of went from there. As far as the line work goes, always doing a standard Copic, start with that. And then I go in with a thicker pen later to sort of differentiate between the forefront character and the background character. It's an okay tactic. I personally like it. Again, it's just for the sketchbook. It's just me drawing the Pokemon. I'm not making it into some big deal thing where every single piece is a masterpiece, a wonderful piece of art that needs to be hung in a gallery somewhere. No, it's a sketchbook. It is a fun little thing I am doing for funsies. And art and life and so many things you should be allowed to do for funsies, and you shouldn't be judged on it. Obviously, if you're hurting somebody, yes, judge away. But what I'm saying in this case, me just drawing a Pokemon or people just doodling in a sketchbook, because there is this thing on YouTube, unfortunately, where a lot of artists feel like the only thing that they should be posting is their best work, whereas I actually feel the opposite. It's why I posted my sketchbook reviews. I want to show people my failures. I want to show people how I regress and then progress, because it's learning, it's education. And again, throughout your life, throughout your career, throughout everything, it's going to come and go. You lose information and then you regain that information sometimes, and that is okay. Everyone should be okay with that, as long as you're trying at least to do better. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Mew is done, almost done. Doing that thicker outline. I actually destroyed this pen. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I might have to order some more. They're the Pentel Flare pens. I might have a few more though. I know I definitely have it in hot pink because I've ordered a whole box of hot pink for the Sketchbook Slam challenge I did a few years ago. But alright, that's all I really want to say on this. Mew did turn out nice, other than the wonky anatomy. But hey, something, wonky anatomy happens. It happens in real life. It happens in drawing. It happens. It just happens, yo. It just happens. Me trying to get that darn white pen to work. Guess what? I never got that white pen to work. I was so frustrated with it. I have such a hard time with white gel pens. Like, they all disappoint me. So I went for the Posca. Nothing can ruin a Posca. Well, I mean, that's a challenge, but yeah, Posca can be ruined. Anyway, that's it. I'm enjoying the series so far. Hope you guys are too. By all means, please feel free to comment below. Tell me your favorite Pokemon. I kind of have a little bit of a list going, and I want to get a bigger list going so I know what we're going to be doing in the future. You might see your favorite Pokemon get doodled by me. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but we're going to take it as a good thing. All right, you lovelies, try to keep cool. It's going to be a very hot one here in Michigan today, so by all means, take those rests, stay hydrated, avoid the sun if you can. Have a good one, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!